what it'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what it'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what it'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, king of the game. I believe in you, that's what it'll say. Nice and kind, leading cobalt ice. He's a blue, cute, and deadly little guy. Seeing through the fog, old gods he's slayed. Go7, 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 Go7. Go7, 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 Go7.
Hey. There we go. Aha. I see. Wait, so I can hear the music too. Okay, penguin. The penguin grind set. I know. I know. Hope everyone's doing all right. Are we starting off with a Jess mirror? Whoa, did the art change? Maybe I'm just misremembering, but... Is this different graphics? I'm doing alright. Love. It's going alright. I'm working as a substitute paraeducator right now, so that I can experience a whole bunch of different schools. I try and settle up. I jump. Not sure. But those units definitely look different. Maybe I'm just seeing things. Kegged a beer, bottled about 3 gallons of wine, and mowed half a lawn before actually Oh no! You mowed a power cord? That's awful. Oh my gosh. Oh, and you're right about these planes. Tiles do seem a little bit odd right here. They're, yeah, that looks very square. A little too sharp, I guess. Blame me. Is this a Forbidden Fog mixed base map? You know what? You're right, this is a fog mixed based map. We've got yellow, 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 and then blue, 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 blue. So we'll see how this plays out. Because normally in mixed base, a lot of it comes down to being able to build units in anticipation for incoming units, and that's just not something that you can do in fog. So that means that all-in hyper-aggressive strategies should be very successful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So like going like Cobalt Ice going all in on this base looks pretty doable. Since an artillery would take 2 turns to get to here to lock it, and then you could be attacking at the same time from over here. It's just mech spam. But we'll see how this goes down. This is indeed... I've yet to see a mixed base fog map really work. Besides Sacks of Terror. But that's just like a gigantic map. This is also pretty big. So we'll see how it goes. So far so good. Okay, Overlawaight has gone with a recon here. That might be used offensively, it might be used defensively. Ooh, okay. Jumpin has also gone with a recon, but from a different base. The double base for Overlight went with a recon, and then the equivalent for Jumpin's base down here is up here. So we'll see if these recons actually end up doing anything. Oh, another recon over here. Okay. So look, that makes me think that the players are going to plan to go for more of a economic harassment that's very unlikely to be prevented, because I mean you've got so many different bases and fronts that you'd have to be trying to protect your infantry on, that a recon surely will be able to find a target. But they're looking for those infantry hits rather than trying to just kill a base right away. I would probably lean towards trying to kill a base right away, because that will just win the game immediately. Where if a recon gets a hit on an infantry, that's good, but that's not going to just like end the game. In this case, this is a really good find for Overlight, and a bit of a misplay by Jumpin. Go back here as you. So this penguin, I assume, is trying to go for this city, in which case it shouldn't stand next to the city. I've talked about this before in Fog 4, but you don't want to give your opponents really good tiles to hit you from, and one of the best tiles is a city. So normally you want to stand away from the city, but you can where you're still in range to move into it. So in this case, the penguin would just go here instead, where the recon wouldn't be able to get over the rivers, but the penguin would still be able to make it to the city. But in general, for your more league fog games, this is still true, and even if you don't have like a forest to hide in, instead you just have a bit on a plains tile that's not next to the city, so that the recon has to hit you from an unfavorable tile. Or in this case, it's just really good for yellow common here. Ooh. Okay, so I don't like this move by Jumpin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it looks like Jumpin is worried that a tank might have been built here, because that would cover this capture. But the problem with going for this move is that is going through the vision of this infantry, so it's revealing that recon. So if a tank was built, it could still in theory come get it, but if I'm going to reveal the recon over here, I would prefer to just go for the interrupt instead. Double tank. So Overlight should see these double tank built over here and be like, oh, all these other fronts are going to be very, very low on vehicles. No tanks. Probably one recon out there, which has now been seen. Recon seen here, double tank seen here. There's nothing but infantry on all of these other fronts. So really good information for Yellow Comet. Like, this attack is free. Let's see if Yellow Comet ends up going for it. No. I do prefer this avenue for getting into this forest because that doesn't reveal that the recon's over here, but I would prefer to just hit this infantry because you see the tank by there. Then we build the tank over here. This is a little bit of a weird place to, I guess this is just a tank to respond to this tank, so it's not in response to having seen the recon go over here. Okay, I like this. Jumpin gonna pick off this city. Very good. Okay, I'm a little bit concerned about Overlight's recon here. And I think last turn it probably should have gone to this forest because that wouldn't be a good way for well, let's actually go back. Yeah, because this infantry's here. So there isn't really a good way for Jumpin to reveal. 1, 2, 3, 6, yeah. This tank doesn't reach to reveal it. So this recon could have stayed in this forest and kept an eye on what's being produced from this base, since it already has given so much information on the tanks being built. So now it's heading back. Okay. Might be a little bit aggressive, but that's okay. That's part of fog. You gotta get your information somehow. In this case, we're gonna have a little bit of a very forward probe. I would probably prefer to just keep this infantry alive, because if I'm looking at where this city is in respect to what like my own properties, it's right here, a city I already own and is easily in range of the base. So this is kind of throwing away an infantry. Because even if this infantry gets this city, there's just no way you can hold it. So your best case is not great. Again, Jumpin really should just keep the infantry over here. Although I doubt that Overlight is going to go for this attack. Okay. Run away here. Over here, you hit this infantry for sure, just to slow down the capture as much as you can, because this infantry cannot get it. Unless you're going to try and bluff that you've got like a bunch of tanks or something waiting to protect it. Oof. I guess this tank is protecting it. Never mind. It's not even a bluff. I think I still would have. Well, okay, it's fine. If you buy the tank to protect it, then that's probably okay. But hitting the penguin would also make sense. Okay. Ooh, very good use of the recon to check what the base has done. And here comes that artillery. It's just 2 turns to lock down this base. Something could have been rushed much earlier. Okay, so this tank, very aggressive to go over here and hit this recon. I don't know if any of these, I don't think any of these tanks have been revealed, so it was probably that Jumpin was at most expecting to just get hit by 1 tank in response to this. Well, instead just lose an entire tank. Very good scouting by Overlight. Overlight. Interrupt over here. Finish off this tank. Build another tank. This is very good. Comet. A little, I mean, this is fine. It's a little aggressive for sure, but since the recon's here, try and force the infantry to kind of commit to this fight. Goodbye recon though. Okay, so I would try and be a little more aggressive with these tank movements over towards this base, because you can already lock this base with this artillery by moving on to this city and then like blocking with an artillery, the recon to make it so the tank can't reach you. Ooh, and we have a medium tank built here. Yeah, so I would flip these. Because right now, I guess what's happening here is that Jumpin is trying to bait the tank into hitting this recon, and then the artillery takes it out, rather than just going to try and kill the base out, kill the base off. Okay. Yellow Comet doing a good job of denying these properties. Does have a little bit of an income advantage currently, and doesn't seem like Yellow Comet quite realizes the danger that this base is in right now. Hasn't built an artillery. It does build a medium tank up here, so it was maybe expecting. I guess this is just in response to this tank killing off this recon. A little bit of overkill for sure, but not the worst thing. Move this up a bit. Alright. Jumpin's definitely getting some really nice pickoffs. Those were a good tank first strike here. Actually manages to delay this capture. Take out the, this classic triple unit combo is the tank infantry clears off an infantry and then another infantry goes for this capture, and this does two things. One, it's going for a property capture to get a nice income advantage, but it also denies your opponent from using a tank to hit your tank from the city. There we go. Now the artillery moves on to the city. This is something that could have been done last turn, I think, to greater effect, but it's still okay. I mean, just an infantry got built. It's only 2 turns. To get an artillery to lock the base. Ooh, wow. Surprised this tank survived. Oh, it's because this Yellow Comet doesn't have bomb tower. Okay, we got a mech. I like it. It's a Jess mech to try and hold the base. And then a lot of aggression over here to try and force investments elsewhere. Checks out. Down goes this recon. You think it kills that tank. Finish off that infantry. It's a little... Oh, if Jumpin had the super here, it'd be really good. Kill off this tank and then be able to take out the mech on this base and then also stand on the base. Oof. Oh, this is so unfortunate. I probably would have used this tank to kill this guy off and use the infantry to try and not protect him. Oh. Away with the 1 health tank. Good. Medium tank built up here, I guess, just in response to this one. Alright. I mean, I guess you can join. This is just forcing the medium tank to hit here again. If you're going to do this, then I would prefer if something else was happening at the same time so that the medium tank is actually having to make a decision. That doesn't interrupt this capture. 2 more cities are going to fall to Yellow Comet, who is really far behind in unit count right now, but has a nice 4K income. I am employed now. It's true. Okay. Oh, the artillery just ran away. Didn't even shoot it. I mean, you don't really want to get hit. No, oh my gosh, very little actual fighting here, and for some reason, Yellow Comet just lets this city go and decide to go hit a recon instead. A little weird. Okay. Well, the unit count for Jumpin is looking really good. Down a little bit in income, up a comm tower, and way up in units, which is it's good in mixed base to have a lot of units so that you have more places on the map to exert pressure, and it's really good in Fog of War because those extra units, even like a 1 health infantry, still provide you as much vision as like a full health infantry would. I work in education. So right now I'm a substitute paraeducator. I've been a paraeducator before, but I want to see the different school and or I want to experience the different schools before I commit to working. I've worked in kindergarten. Yeah, I was a one-on-one paraeducator with a kindergarten kid with Down syndrome. Professor Penguin. You will soon also work in education. That's great. So yeah, here you can see this is part of what unit count and having a unit count advantage does, is these vehicles don't really want to be used to interrupt infantry captures off into the fog. You'd really like to use infantry to do that, and then have these guys ready to go after actual vehicles, because now they have to expose themselves and kind of turn into really bad trades where you hit an infantry and you lose a tank for it. Wildly, yeah, it's definitely not the best pay. It's wildly unsupported. The training is very lackluster. It's very much a sink or swim kind of environment. You can either do it or you quit. I also predict a very devastating attack next turn. Jumpin is going to get some really good damage here. The bottom left is looking really rough, but at the same time, all that Yellow Comet's really been trying to achieve in the bottom left is taking this comm tower, so it's not huge damage done to Jumpin. King of the classrooms. I probably would have tried to use this infantry to clear off this 1 health tank, and then try and save this 5 health. Admittedly at the very bottom. No, either that or you could use a power. I'm surprised no powers have been used. They both have super. And I mean, the super looks really good over here for the extra firepower, making sure all the tanks can reach their targets and the recon can come in here and hit the mech and all that. For chalk and paper and anchovies, thank you. Oh, don't worry, I've had my fair share of I have my fair share of sad stories with kids. I'm an experienced, well, not super experienced. It doesn't matter. Okay, before I was before the pandemic, I was working as a paraeducator, and before that, I was working as a caretaker with the Department of Human Services. Okay, but jump in here. Just ignoring my work history. Jump in here is doing a really good multifaceted attack. The one thing I would change about this turn is I would have used the power to try and wipe this stuff out. I'm not quite sure why. Like at this point, I would also put I would also have the artillery in range of the base. That's another thing I would do. But I would have used my super, probably the super, to try and get as much of this wiped out as possible, and then put the artillery in range of the base, and kind of is like, this is GG unless you can do a like a somewhat equal amount of damage to me and one of my other bases. So, Yellow Comet is the one that gets the super. It goes for the super first. Wolf. Unfortunately has to scout with the tank. Does get some nice pickoffs over here. Although, this infantry actually managed to wall this off. Oh no, it doesn't quite work. This guy can go around, take out this tank, and then this guy can... Oh, goes after the recon instead. Okay. That works too. Wow, the 6 health tank took out the 5 on the forest. Double medium tank over here. Okay. So pretty good attack over here. Unfortunately for Yellow Comet, it's purely just tanks, and that means as soon as Jumpin kind of techs up at this base, his attack is going to get a lot weaker. This tank is taken out by the artillery. We haven't had a power used. There we go. Here comes the turbocharge. Could have just used that right away, because you're already at max charge, so there's no reason to kind of do some power management stuff. This is a great medium tank first strike from a city. Oh, the tank lives at 1. I assume, yeah, medium tank out of here makes sense. Yellow Comet might try and do some funky stuff, like just surround this tank, or this medium tank with tanks. Stop this base from being able to build, and then at the same time go for some captures on these cities. Okay, the mech does reveal this tank for the medium tank to go after. Smack. Ah, man, these medium tanks have just kind of been walking around over here, which is not quite what you want. Like, this is a pretty big investment to have hanging out. Okay, so it looks like we're just going to flee from this base, which makes sense. If the medium tanks decide to come down here, then surrounding this base would make sense, would work. Or if there was artillery on the way or something like that. Just a tank is built here. Okay. This is the base that's put under a lot of pressure, so I would have anticipated something a little bit stronger than that. Oof. Great play by jumpin, clearing out all of these units, and then also getting the medium tank, which means that this artillery has no vision in its future. It won't actually be able to attack anything. Really good for jumpin to not overextend with this medium tank, which is what it looks like Yellow Comet was kind of hoping for. I probably would have gone after this. Over here, I would have had this tank. Well, I would have used this recon probably to scout over here and then have the tank come in, hit this infantry on the city, and then the medium tank can attack this tank. Because I'm pretty sure this was revealed because it attacks. Okay, now we have the artillery. Ah, I see. Jumpin wanted to get the city captured so that the artillery would not run out of ammo as it fired on the base. Probably should have sent an infantry over to take out this mech. You just have this guy go here instead to reveal it. Okay, still a huge unit count advantage for jumpin. And one of the things you can do with a unit count advantage is you can just start sending infantry without any support to go after far off cities from any of these bases, like these middle cities, for instance. And it's very unlikely your opponent can protect those at all. And then you just keep using your leftover units to keep the fights going. And you'll just get some nice economic leads. I did stream Live League last Friday. Yeah, there's no air. Ooh. So I don't like this Neotank buy, but I can understand why Yellow Comet went for it. The problem with the Neotank buy is that it has no vision. Okay, there we go. Looks like a mech was built here. Now the base has fallen. And once a base falls here, it's going to be really hard to stay in the game. This is just going to have... I'm not quite sure what this guy was trying to do. I guess he was trying to go to this forest. But this is why you want your medium tank to always have support with it. Otherwise you get trapped like so, and that's going to be painful. I would be over here. I would be way more aggressive with the placement of the vehicles because there's no vision support for Yellow Comet. So you can just place your vehicles in the way of where the Neotank might want to go and get it trapped. I'm a corporate penguin. I should do a Live League stream during one of Mechstorm's Live League streams. I can try and time that. Yeah, converting Fight Me to Live League does make a lot of sense. Okay, this is looking really good for jumpin. There's still a pretty large Yellow Comet army here. Ooh, it's going to wipe out the base. Oh, okay, this is very good. This is kind of what Yellow Comet needed to stay in the game. And jumpin is definitely kicking themselves from building a tank on this front rather than getting a medium tank down here. But this is exactly what Yellow Comet needs to try and stay in the game. Instead of being a base down, it's just going to be a base swap. Although I wouldn't have... Having the infantry that's going to go for the capture on the base next to a recon here is really unfortunate. Or tank gets trapped. There we go. The infantry is now walking towards some of these really exposed properties. Recon probably wouldn't have shelled this. I think I would prefer to have the artillery here so it can lock this city and just have the Neotank kill this. Oh no. I didn't even see that Yellow Comet's got the artillery in range of the base, but there's no way to get vision of it. That's absolutely tragic. Okay, I mean, this of course makes sense to delay this a turn. Artillery just chills. We're gonna need... Jumpin's definitely gonna be feeling the pressure over here. See how Jumpin manages to keep it together. Oh man, there's almost a nice like medium tank kills infantry. Then you'd have to be so gutsy to go into this forest though. Okay, so Jumpin actually has some stuff over here that could potentially interrupt this capture. I mean, we'll get a really nice medium tanks. Oh, there's 2 medium tanks over here. I didn't even see this one way up here. Okay, so Jumpin's kind of still got this area under control pretty nicely. Yeah. Smack, smack. Just builds a recon. Goes for more city captures. You can see that unit count advantage. It's so hard to make a comeback unit count wise. And it just allows for all of this really annoying attacks on every spot on the map. Okay, great vision with this 3 health tank. Comet using the power. Attacking all these guys, goes after the artillery, makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, it will take Jumpin to get another power here to interrupt this capture. Or some serious clears. There it kills off the infantry. Tank prevents this capture, which is great. Neotank comes in here, stops that capture, and then the recon gets built. 30 fires on the recon. That's maybe a little bit gutsy, but we do have a Neotank here to support, so I guess that makes sense. Oh, Jumpin doesn't have any charge. So it looks like this base is going to fall. But oh my gosh, an 8k advantage. Another city's under threat. Another one. Recon fails to get the kill on the tank. He does not fail. Kind of scouts this tank. Cool. So this is not gonna, yeah. A lone medium tank on the same terrain doesn't really want to get into that fight. You need this is a 2 medium tank job to take out a Neo tank. This base does fall, but man, there's a pretty sizable army from Jumpin to try and take it back. It's just looking like a Jess victory, yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. Overlight does find a little way around here to start capturing this base. But there's quite a bit of stuff here to try and save it. So this might just be some losses of units here. Unless it's like turbocharged. Isn't that the new tank? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Great. Great first strike. There goes that medium tank. We knew it well. Oof. I mean, that was a pretty darn good turn for Yellow Comet. Jumpin is up 10k though. another city up 12k. Yeah, it was just kind of a loss of units to go for the base attack there. Sometimes happens. We have another medium tank built here. Makes sense. You could also try and go for something a little bit deeper. I mean, 30. Well, I guess it's not quite 31k income yet. This is going to get captured back, so it's it's only 20k to 30k. But the tactics from Yellow Comet have been looking really good. Been finding some nice kills. Yeah, large investment to go after this base, which makes sense. This one, I think it's gonna. You can see there isn't quite enough money left to fight on all these fronts. So this is going to be the main front that the Yellow Comet wants everything to happen on. Ooh. Okay, doesn't go after the Neo tank because of the artillery. I like this artillery placement from Jumpin. It's very cheeky. Medium tank is taken out at 8 health. You're just going to enter into medium tank spam over here. If you're entering into medium tank spam for this base, the one thing I don't want to lose is this recon, so I wouldn't send it in, especially not to hit an artillery on a city, because if you look at this, you knock it down to 8, and then on Yellow Comet's turn, it's just going to heal right back up to 10. It's like you did nothing, except now your recon's just good. So definitely want to keep this alive, because these guys have really bad vision. Late night stream, this is what the new stream time is going to be like. I'm sorry. So this is still looking very, very dicey for Jumpin, but I mean, up 10k, still lots of captures going on. I really like this play over here with the artillery and the Neo tank. Turbo charge from Yellow Comet halfway through the turn. Let's see what that's for. It must be for this. Okay, that's a good hit. Can't deny it. At this point, Jumpin just needs to start building mega tanks from this base. Don't know what Yellow Comet could really do. I mean, there's some weakened vehicles here that could be used, I guess, to drain the ammo. But this is Jess, so the power can just give the ammo back. Gosh, the income deficit just gets more and more extreme. Okay. I guess I'm pretty sure this Neo tank was known about. We have tried to clear that. That's okay. Taking out these units. This tank doesn't want to go for this attack. Okay. Oh, another. Oh, this is like an end turn power here. Oh my gosh. No, Jumpin, you gotta learn. Oh, okay, knocking it down to 2 is pretty good. I think I would have just reversed that order. No, this is fine. You can have the healthier medium tank on top of the city. Yeah, no, that's fine. Build something a little bit beefier than that. Yo, Poland. I don't know what's up with all the late turn powers. I don't know if this is a live game or what. Okay. Lots of low health medium tanks over here. When you're down to 18k income, you can build an investment at one base. Surprised the labs, because jumping can go for these lab caps to try and win the game. Although this lab is also capturable, so I guess that wouldn't work. Whoop. Hit this artillery really good. Drop that tank. Okay, we're gonna have to see something. I guess this should be another medium tank over here. There we go. Probably wouldn't actually build that medium tank. Knowing about 2 artillery staring at the base, I think you just... It's like, it's basically mega tank or nothing. That was the lowest 2 HP tank ever. Yeah, I mean, that's really bad. You got 32k income. Mega tank should be very viable. This artillery. Lots. Ooh, this is very good for jumping, clearing off this base. Lots of recons going after tank strikes here. There we go. There we go. Join the medium tanks together. Build the mega tank. That is the way to do it. For those who don't know, mega tanks, unlike all other tanks, are fairly resistant to indirect fire. So if your base is being locked by multiple artillery, the only thing you want to build is a mega tank. They're tanks, but mega. As you can see. When this hit a medium tank, the medium tank went down to 1. The mega tank went down to 7. Ooh, and there's still a recon over here. Very good. Great placement from jumpin'. The artillery covering that recon. The punish will be beautiful. And there's already an infantry ready to go for this base. It's looking very GG. Ooh. Even goes for this base too. Great blocking. Oh, but the 3 health infantry is going to be able to delay it. This is looking great. Although... Jumpin' doesn't have enough money to build another mega tank. Don't build a medium tank. You can just build an infantry if you want to have something on there. But you don't want to build something that the artillery can just shell. Yeah, you can build like infantry if you want to try and lock them there, but as you can see, well, I guess in this case it might live because Jumpin' has a power active, and Yellow Comet didn't use super in time. Also, Yellow Comet lost vision of the base. Okay, never mind, it worked out somehow. I stand corrected. Yeah, the infantry will get vaporized, but it only costs you 1k. And if you're trying to keep the artillery there, or like run them out of ammo or anything like that, then that works out. I don't know why this 9 health infantry. I see. It must have attacked. It wasn't captured. Yellow Comet. I don't know what Yellow Comet's out is because this is looking super GG. I'm assuming it's just like a last-ditch attempt to try and get this base. Really should just be building Mega Tank. Poor Neo Tank. It's super toasted. Bop, bop, bop. Base gets taken out. Really, the Mega Tank didn't even have to move. It could have just stayed on this base if you want. You don't have to build a new one every turn. It's not so much that this base has to fight, it just has to not fall. Cap limit is 34? It might be. I don't know if they have a cap limit. If so, Jumpin's gonna get there. Nope. At this point, Jumpin about to have every lab, and that will for sure. Okay. Kind of fighting it out. This is the problem with the heavy vehicles getting trapped all the time. Ooh, does get the capture started on this base. Okay. He lives at 1. Recon managed to live? 2, 3, 4, 5. Mega tank can come out here. Save the base. Build another mega tank, I assume. I guess it doesn't matter now that this injury is happening over here. Just build a medium tank in this case. Oh, maybe with this capture? No. Oh yes. Okay. Okay, so the capture limit was 35. Jumpin just wanted to play out the turn before finishing the capture. So GG. I really liked Yellow Comet's opening here, and I think Jumpin eventually going with the artillery attack on the space, of course, makes sense, as Yellow Comet, as Overlight eventually did too. But if we just look at this map right away, this kind of shows the danger of mixed base is that you're gonna have no way of knowing if there's going to be a fast artillery attack on this base, and they can do it really quickly and you'll just lose your base. And that's to me the problem with mixed base fog. It didn't happen in this game. I think their mixed base fog experience was pretty good in this game, but they went for like a recon plays rather than just trying to go for a really fast base kill. After that southern base fell, yeah. It was almost a fast victory. The Yellow Comet held in there. We got Onyx, Dusk versus Twinkle on Sahara. I can quickly check to see. Aha! This is sent in by Twinkle. Twinkle gets to be dice. Sahara do be a banger. Battleship or Riot. The last game was one of the games of all time. It was a good game. Okay, we've got Kindle versus Andy, which, I mean, I'm an Andy fan, so I would love to give my my condolences, my recommendations to Andy winning. But the more I've played this matchup, the more the Kindle superpower is just so good against Andy. I think it is Kindle favored. Although Andy's mid game against Kindle's really strong, but Kindle's got that better early game, and I feel like she's also got the better late game, just because being able to one-shot Andy's units is so good. We'll see how they go about the opening here. There's some recon openings, there's tanks, there's even artillery openings that I've seen. Ooh, Twinkle went with a really fast capture out over into this section, which is going to be it could be a really long capture chain. But it does mean that there'll be a slightly slower initial income here, because this capture chain and into the airport wasn't gone for. But this does mean that any pressure that Onyx would send down this way would show up a little too late. You outright lose to day 3 recon if you go forward with the first infantry going for the center. Yeah, the recons can be really strong. What makes the recons really strong in this map, for those that don't know, is that shoals are the same movement cost as roads. And recons add just 1. So the 8 movement of a recon that makes it into the center means it can go after like any front. And what that means is the recon forces buys and then still finds value. A chest you might be a little bit behind, but that's okay. Okay, we're gonna go with a tank first on the right hand side here. Onyx goes straight for the center here with these tanks. Which can kind of do something similar that the recon can do. It's just they're a little bit slower, and they're a larger investment. Something that I'd like to have Twinkle bring along with this attack, and same with Onyx, is these attacks down here. You want to have an artillery with them. I just realized Twinkle's super delaying this airport for some reason. Going over the mountain for this city instead? What? Very dubious tank attack here? I don't know. Well, this is gonna be a very harsh lesson for Andy here. You don't want to hit Kindle's infantry on cities when there are tanks nearby, especially when you have to hit from a bridge. All the way to 1. Poland hates this map. Okay, got the anti-air as a response to the copter. Makes sense. Now the nice thing, I mean, Andy did cause some repairs, so there's no artillery here this turn. This infantry probably could have moved. Or can I move backwards? I don't know what's quite going on here, but it's okay. There's still a nice attack over towards these properties, and Andy doesn't really want to fight Kindle in this area at all. Because if we're trying to look at where can you stand that isn't next to a city or a city, I mean, there's the places around the HQ, assuming you're owning your HQ, but that property, like that tile is next to the property. This tile isn't next to any property, so this is a tile you can stand next to against Kindle without getting punished. This, well, they also get hit back by the infantry, so I think getting knocked down to one's pretty likely. I don't know if he'll kill it. If there was a comm tower, I think that would. Okay. So it looks like Onyx is trying to force a fight in the center, which is probably a pretty decent option when you have a copter and your opponent doesn't. Although double anti-air here. It's gotta be painful. But the tough thing about fighting in the center here is until the artillery arrives, you're going to have a really tough time breaking through just what these bases can produce. Now this property is actually out of range of both of these bases by a single tile. But it's still gonna be really hard to actually get past this little no man's land of forests. Okay. Artillery shows up just a little too late. Okay. So the copter has to go in here and hit the capturing infantry. Artillery will be nice in that it can hit or shoot at the anti-air that's going to kill off this copter. There we go. Take that out. But the anti-air is on a city, so it's really not too painful for Twinkle here. And this city also gets captured at the same time. Just, man, fighting Kindle over here looks like a nightmare. Here comes an artillery to help out too. But now we have a copter built. The only anti-air that Onyx had was that copter, and now there's nothing. Oof. So painful. These tanks have to go in here. They hit the infantry. They're next to the cities. Comm tower's gotten the one thing. If Twinkle is able to get the urban blight, then these are just dead tanks. Oh, Rishi, you're not so sure about the no tanks helping with this attack? Yeah, Onyx went with the center pressure with these infantry rather than attacking down here, but you get so much less out of the center pressure in comparison, so I would definitely attack down here instead. No urban blight. But that still just gets taken out by tank attacks. As will this one. Pop. Pop. Anti-air lives. 4 health anti-air. It's still going to be able to hit a copter pretty hard, especially if it gets to hit from a city as Kindle. And the copter production, the copters covered this. Easy peasy. Team tank does jump in here. This tank. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, this will be so painful. Of course, Twinkle will be able to hit this tank from the HQ and take out this tank, and then they'll also get the Urban Blight attack copter from the city. This will set up Andy for a super, but Andy will also be losing a lot of units here, which makes the super worse. So like this 5 health tank for Andy is not, it's not really 5 health. That's a 10 health tank when the super comes back. Hello. Twinkle's thinking about it. Oh my gosh. So for Twinkle, I would 100% Urban Blight here and kill off these units, go after the copter, and then I would surround this tank and bring the artillery over. I mean, this isn't a free copter kill. You do get hit by the artillery afterwards. Whoa. Okay, well that Onyx definitely lucked out there. That would have been a really painful turn. Okay, Onyx must be trying to get the super this turn in order to go for that attack. I guess it was just to hit that tank. Okay. I would probably... Well, I don't know, actually. This anti-air is kind of annoying. I mean, you can always use the infantry to break this. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess you could hit here with the tank, or you could go after that anti-air. Okay, just gonna go down here. Definitely kill off the tank, off the infantry. Continue the attack over here. We built a Neo tank. Off this tank, no power use. So I guess we're gonna go straight to the Kindle Super. I was saying that the Kindle Super is really good against Andy. That makes sense. I probably would have used that Urban Blight earlier, of course. Down here hitting that tank. Probably would prefer to kill off this tank. Can't, I guess you can reach that. Fire here, move the infantry. Or could just use the super to try and get the kills. Okay, this looks like a decent wall. I mean, you can Urban Blight it to break it and then kill an artillery. But that's not the best. 5, 6. So this copter can't reach this copter unless there's a way made. I think a way can be made. As long as Kindle Super... I don't quite know how much damage Kindle Super would do, but if it gives the infantry the ability to one-shot other infantry, then this would just kill this, this would kill this, tank could kill the anti-air, and then copter could kill the copter. Oh, we're not going for the super, we're just going for Urban Blight. Okay. Kill the anti-air, okay. Oh, okay, we did break in over here to kill off an artillery. Alright. Pretty painful attack here for Onyx. 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess it's okay because you'd have to give up the capture to kill off the copter. What? Don't do this. I mean, I guess Andy can heal up a lot of it. I thought we weren't going to see the Andy super because it doesn't help much up here. Or it would be Andy super after these attacks, but before this, so you like kill the artillery and stuff. Okay, this isn't so bad. It's a little painful because all of the capturing infantry are pretty much at not 10 health. Thank you, Lucian. Okay, there goes the copter. You have the urban blight. Pop. I probably would have this Neo tank go. Oh, I guess the Neo tank doesn't want to be in range of the artillery. They can just hit the artillery. I mean, I'd have the Neo tank hit the full health medium tank on the road, and just have a tank hit this and a tank hit here because Andy's already used the super. Now goes this copter. Smack, smack. Smack. Down goes the artillery. This is looking very good. Or Kindle. Don't know. I'm not as excited about the tanks running away, but that's okay. Onyx Dusk has resigned. GG. So a really good attack on the top, up the top right here by Twinkle. Onyx Dusk. The biggest thing I would say is instead of investing everything into the center here, investing in an attack down here earlier would be good. Yeah, very helpful, very handy. Yeah. And then for both players, I think working on seeing like when to use your power would be good. And when to use it in the turn. So like Andy using the super both to heal and like going for attacks, and then you can use the super to heal those guys up, and then also getting to use that extra firepower to get the kills and stuff. That's definitely a very tough map to play. And we have ICanHasCrab versus Super 5125 and a max mirror on the other blockchain. Oh yeah, the timing of the Andy super is tricky. Oh yeah, Kindle has really good firepower. Oh, it's this map. Love this map. Why does everyone hate that map? I don't think everyone hates that map. Poland said he. Okay, we have max mirror here. So far, ooh. Got really fast deployment over to this airport. I can respect it. And this is something that Super 5125 is not. Okay, going in a little bit opposite order, going for these central captures faster, and then the airport. So ICanHasCrab could technically go for a double base skip copter next turn. Probably won't see it. We could see a transport copter. Okay, so because this airport wasn't used, I'm not as excited about the really fast airport. And it seems like Super 5125's airport timing is just fine. Yeah, okay. Lots of infantry coming out over here. Just tanks from here. So far. This is a base that would kind of like to build infantry. I don't think it was really forced to build this tank. Probably could have gotten away with building the tank back here. Although with the double tank presence here, can pretty safely go for this capture. I'm going for the cheese. I like rush the HQ. You're rooting for the Max who just wants a crab. Okay. The Crab Max has gotten a nice hit over here. The free swing at an infantry. And now it does have the copter built. Last time you played this map, you achieved a frustrating victory. Looking pretty good. Wow, I just realized Super 5125 has so much income. Okay, there's just a lot of captures left to be finished there. That's still a nice income advantage for Super 5125, ending the turn. ICanHasCrab equal. Is pretty good. Wow, okay. Very aggressive from Super 5125. This definitely signals to me that there might be some thoughts of going after the HQ. ICanHasCrab is not having any of that though. Coming in with units from all directions. Does refuel the Blackboat. Oh, this guy's actually not targetable right now. Super 5125 does finish off this tank. Nice blocking with this Blackboat. So now this tank can't come through and get a tank first strike. Unfortunate for this Blackboat though, it does mean it will die. It is down to 4 fuel. Capture. Okay. Still lots of pressure being put on ICanHasCrab here. Oof, all of these tanks are being thwarted by this lone Blackboat for a few more turns. It did the... I thought they all moved. Oh, these infantry didn't. Just stuck in a little stare off. This is getting really close to Super 5125 being able to just take this HQ. Comes the copter. 2 infantry attacks on this copter. Attacks over here. I probably wouldn't be doing this. No. I guess the idea is just to hurt all of the infantry as many infantry as possible. Super 5125 does have a nice income lead and is threatening the comm tower. Okay. ICanHasCrab hits the black boat. It's only got 3 turns of fuel left, but it's in such a good spot. It's cutting off so many vehicles. Another attack on this? This copter is going to get a lot of value against infantry. Ooh, but we do have a capture on the airport. Our Super 5125, and then we have max force. Ooh, that's really good. There's not enough tanks over here. Can almost just go for the HQ cap with copters. This copter can go here. This copter can go here. There was a full health tank still over here. It's very close to being able to just take that HQ. Ooh, ICanHasCrab just resigns, losing the airport. I mean, that is really tough. I don't see how you could possibly save that. Really brutal. What happened with, I mean, this black boat placement cutting off 4 vehicles from ever entering the game was absolutely devastating. GG. It never even sank. Just viable on this map confirms. Refueling the B-boat. True. Okay, now we have Rishi is here playing Sami against Max. Hey, Humida. Ooh, a tourney game. To the left. Looks like it's just standard. Well, it's standard mixed base. This base looks really lonely. But man, are those HQs vulnerable. I can understand why Rishi went with Sami. I think Max will have an easier time taking out this base. Well, maybe. I guess Sami could always take it out with artillery. Come straight down. We'll see what Max is able to do here. This is definitely looking really good for Sami. An HQ just kind of almost in the center of the map, very exposed, way far away from any of these bases, and then a starting airport for fast transport copters if that's how you want to play. Everyone went Max. I don't know. Sami looks really good. I mean, yeah, this terrain is really good for tanks. But those HQs. Center is really strong. Okay. Rishi goes for a quick mech. This is because the mech will actually get to this city faster than the infantry. At least I assume that's why Rishi's going for a fast mech. Although it doesn't... Like, you would go here and just get absolutely clobbered by mechs. Okay, so no transport copter. Which, I mean, I'm very disappointed in Rishi to have no transport copter as Sami. Especially because it would, I mean, it would be like immediately threatening HQ. Okay, mech chilling on the mountain makes sense. Ooh, Rishi with a nice interrupt, or not interrupt, but damage on this infantry. Interrupts this capture. Tony does go straight for the center here with coalescing all of these vehicles here. Okay. She's doing pretty decently with the capture game. Manages to, I guess, deny this city. Although this one's also denied, so... I guess it's not much of a advantage there. Ooh. Okay, at the end of Tony's turn, though, Rishi was up by 1k. I think that's due to getting in the way over here. Oh, both of these cities are going to go into Rishi's favor, not to Tony. But in exchange, Tony's getting this city. Well, Rishi's not looking super likely to get this one. We have an attack over here to go after this comm tower. Trying to overload these tanks, I guess. And there's double tank in base range. This might be a little sketchy for Rishi to go for. I think max with comm tower does enough damage to interrupt these captures. The mech's not quite in range to do anything about it. We have a nice hit on this infantry. There's only 2 infantry over here for Tony, so taking these guys out would be good. It's a crushing defeat for you. Oh, it's double. Oh, so it's even 2 towers. Oh my gosh, I didn't see that. That's even better for Sami. But yeah, the tank is able to interrupt this capture. Kill off that infantry. There's nothing over here. Interrupt this capture now. She's still up a little bit of income. We have a fast max Neo tank. That's a really weird buy. I mean, I guess you can just go kill this tank. Is the artillery is here to guard the mech? Usually you don't see max teching up to Neo tanks right away because you get so much out of having just a lot of like light tanks with that extra firepower. Build more mech. I mean, the double base area using mechs is really good. And of course all of these mountains. Does kill that tank. Anti-air. Rishi is still looking really good when it comes to this income. Maybe the end of Tony's turn down 2k. No, has pretty good control over the HQ. Ooh. Okay, the mechs are going after the Neo tank. A little bit painful. The idea, but and by the way, the idea with this copter attack is it's to stop the base from building anything, so that Rishi can threaten to clear the base with this mech. Probably really trying to threaten the double time, so that this infantry would be able to start capturing this after clearing it. Value-wise, it's a little worth it. Barely. Doing about 4,400 for the cost of 3,000. I don't know if that's really worth it when you lose 2 units for it. But the Neo tank is now also injured, which is good. This is a very aggressive play. I don't like it because there's all these units that Tony has just sitting in the middle, and now they actually have a goal. So we'll see what Tony does. Down 4K, which is painful. Copter does die. Down go the mechs. Okay, the Neo tank being here does stop the double time play. Although I don't think the double time play would really work out anyway. Tony is now getting this city. Should definitely help with income deficit. Tony's way up in unit count, which is something you do not want to have to deal with as Sami. Okay, we do kill off this tank. And for those who don't know, Rishi is known to be a very sharp player with lots of very positional plays and using the move planner, even in casual games. So expect those kinds of plays here. But still ended up committing to the double time play, just not the clearing the base side of things. Kill off that infantry, which is pretty nice because it makes it a little bit more annoying. I mean, Tony can still like clear the way for the tanks to go after the mechs. A little bit more annoying. Ooh, okay, we got lots of blocking going on here. That one's good. And this is a pretty, with just 2 tanks and some infantry over here for Tony, this is looking like something that's going to be an absolute nightmare to try and deal with. We do have the super, which does let this copter not make it. The Neo tank does take out the artillery, though. There goes this copter. Really good value. These exchanges over here. Max the infantry army to try and fight the Sami infantry army. Not the best. Another Neo tank. These Neo tanks, I mean, this one's gotten a ton of value. Usually I really caution against using the Neo tanks especially against Sami, where the Neo tanks almost pure overkill. Okay, so this over here looks pretty good for Rishi. You mech and anti-air kill off this tank, I imagine. And the medium tank is to hit here, pretty nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just out of range of this Neo tank on the base. Really good infantry placement here. Neo tank doesn't want to block this base to kill off a 4 health infantry. Oh, there's that one. And does get the kill. Lots and lots of injured max units over there. Infantry here to block off access to hitting this anti-air, I assume, so that this copter doesn't just run free. Okay, so Tony's still kind of doing just fine in unit count. It's actually up 5 infantry at 15. Oh, there's 4 mechs. But a lot of that unit count is just standing over here doing nothing. Where almost all of Rishi's unit count is actively fighting. What is this mech? Down goes the 1 health tank. I'm not quite sure about that move. You don't really want to give up a 2 health max tank for a 1 health Sami tank. I like this play though. Now this Neo tank is protecting all these vehicles, and this 3 health infantry is protecting the Neo tank. Well, okay. Tony's like, okay, these guys do need to actually do something. Starts moving forward and going for the comm tower. Rishi is getting close to the victory march, though. I don't know what this Neo tank is doing. I think it could die to the 7 health mech, potentially. But because... I was not going to try. Because this victory march is almost here, Rishi can, start putting on some serious pressure around the map. And here we have the infantry. The infantry move out from Tony. Doesn't have any vehicle support. And it just kind of let itself get first hit. It hurts a lot. Yeah, Tony was making sure there's no victory march to take the HQ. And what's going on there is, even though it looks like Rishi is still like decently far away from the victory march, but because victory march can just win the game instantly, it means that Sami can do like a mass sacrifice of units, just slamming stuff into like this Neo tank or this medium tank in really catastrophic trades, but end up generating a ton of charge and then just win the game. So you have to be a pretty on point at protecting your HQ against Sami. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this was an infantry that was in range of going for the HQ. The entire snuffs that out. There has to die for an infantry, which is really unfortunate. So many heavy vehicles being built from this one base. Got some very questionable attacks on Neo tanks in this game, but it does give us the victory march. So this is going to be a victory march just to capture stuff rather than the game instantly. I'm trying to see the captures that this guy can go for a capture. One capture here. A capture here. We do also get to get some. Oh, that's one here too. Also some nice kills. Probably would have captured a city that wasn't quite so close to the base. Oh, never mind. This guy can go for that one. Okay, no, there's more captures that I wasn't seeing there. I mean, being up 15k is mighty nice. There's not that many overextensions that Rishi had to go for that. We have the max super. Okay. In here, pull off this tank. That was his infantry. I mean, Some pretty decent damage. I don't think that this works to get this city, though. Not a huge fan of what Tony's doing over here. The attacks over here looked pretty good. Anti-air moved over here. Really annoying. It's nothing but infantry currently trying to fight it. And we do have this infantry here to stop these captures from happening. Rishi can maintain this nice income advantage. The mech just sacrifices itself into the anti-air, which makes sense. So this city will fall. We do have the bomber being built. Rishi flexing that 15k income advantage. Is down 5 units at the end of the turn, which isn't great, but up 40k in unit value, which is really great. Down 7 infantry, which is pretty painful for Sami. But when you have double comm tower, it's not as bad because you can get your vehicles to 20% firepower when you use a power. And as long as you have just enough infantry, you can still get some captures. Lots of very aggressive infantry placements for Tony here. Ending up being very painful. They have to get so exposed. It's probably Tony getting a little bit desperate with his income deficit, which is understandable. Anti-air. The tank moves forward. We do have one anti-air over here. Oh no, the anti-air moved away from the base. That's very bad. Well, there's no support, so the bomber could go in here and hit this, but not kill it. It is a Sami bomber, and there's no follow-up. But this does mean is that these anti-airs are not connected. I imagine Rishi might double time here or just let the city get captured and then take it back pretty quickly afterwards. Okay, no double time. Just take the city back after it gets taken. No problems. Bomber's not going to go in here and hit the anti-air. A little too gutsy. It would also get a lot of charge. Many mechs had to die for your nation to prosper. So, this has been just having to sit in the center has been very painful for Tony, and Tony resigns. Down 12k. Did manage to get the city, but it's about to be lost. GG. Sami looked absolutely disgusting on this map. GG. Well played. You were disappointed there was no HQ cap? Well, you saw how much Tony had to commit to stop that. I feel like Max played heavily for the center, but the center just didn't matter. Unless you rushed your HQ. Got Lou versus Tinky. Tinkiwilli. It was well played. This is Chosin Reservoir. This is the map that no, I was thinking of a different map. This This is the map where I have an airport before base opener. Someone was wrong on all their predictions for who would win. This is the map that an 800 defeated you on? This is Sturm versus Sasha. This is a matchup you don't see too often. Looks like Lou is not going to go for the airport first. Neither is Tinky here. I imagine we're going to see lots of recons coming out of Sturm. Ooh. Sasha going for recons of their own? That is mighty gutsy. I would, as Sasha here, I would probably save up for a bunch of tanks. The nice thing is that Sasha can deny Sturm's power, which the meteor falling down isn't the most impactful thing, but those extra stats on Sturm are a real pain to deal with. And the extra income can help negate some of that economic damage that you kind of always take against Sturm with these incredibly fast recons. That's your opinion? Yeah, Sturm does try and leverage getting a really early advantage. Kind of snowballing that. But this is a pretty good map for Sasha. You have all of your production kind of put together very nicely, and there's lots of properties to get your income going. The fast recon I don't agree with, as this is letting Sturm get away with some more economic harassment than they might otherwise be able to. Probably should have just hit this again with the recon. You don't really care if this tank hits you because your recon will survive. You'll be able to delay this capture even further. Although this is pretty nice having the infantry just step next to the recon. I can't deny that. More. As Sturm, I would probably build even more recons before I get some tanks on the field, but that's just how I play Sturm. With very, very aggressive recon openers. Okay. So as we see here, at the end of Tinky's turn, the property count is even, which means that Lou is doing well economically. The recon damage has done its job, but income-wise, I think he's still ahead, just thanks to the Sasha day-to-day. How goes that recon? I think he's a little bit in the dark here. I'm not quite sure. I would have continued hitting here to try and deny this city longer term, because I think that's an easier one to deny than this one. But it looks like Lou just wants to delay this a little bit, force some repair costs, delay this one a little bit, force some repair costs. Whoa. Wow. Very aggressive tank diving on in there. Ooh, so at the end of Tinky's turn here, Lou is ahead in both property count by 2 and income in general. So the Sasha day-to-day is not doing enough to make up for the amount of harassment that's happened so far. But the transport copter situation is looking better for Tinky. A little bit ahead there, which means these islands should kind of fall unopposed. My gosh, Sasha is so aggressive. Just diving on in here with tanks. Well, this looks like it's going to be really devastating. Sturm is going to get some nice attacks. It will let Sasha get to the normal power. Which will, of course, give a nice stat boost. And diving in to go for these attacks has slowed down Lou's income gain. Now ending, well, still up 2 properties, but ending even in income on Lou's turn. I think he's down 1 property, but up in income now. But I guess doing okay in unit value and unit count. Despite having to sacrifice so many tank first strikes. I mean, this tank did live though at 1. And one of the nice things about Fog is, of course, you can more easily go back and repair units. Looks like Sasha's going with the... There's a few ways you can play Sasha. You can leverage your extra income to try and like overwhelm your opponent unit count wise by always like being able to continually buy from your airport when your opponent can't. Or you can go for faster tech ups. And it looks like Tinky's going with the just overwhelm the opponent unit count wise strategy, which I like a lot. Although I think faster tech ups are probably better against Sturm in particular. I think it makes sense to Sasha being aggressive does make sense, but not when it's like diving on in there. That's very painful. You have the market crash here. Stop the Sturm power. Kill off this tank. Anti-air is going to be feasting. But this tank doesn't reach, so this is still pretty good attack. The artillery can shoot a tank, the tank can shoot a tank, and there's still 1 tank left to go after the anti-air after it hits 1 copter. So a pretty nice attack. It's still gonna have some painful ramifications. Oh, gonna try and kill off a tank, and ooh, it lives. There's that plus 10 doing work. Okay, great attack up here from Tinky. Gonna get 2 of these properties. Kind of desperately needed. We'll put Tinky in the lead so these islands are all captured. Very good job. The anti-air... Oh, the anti-air moved away from the team tank here. So this copter does just get a nice hit. Really pushing forward here. Finds a hit on this artillery. Killed off that anti-air. This one does get another copter. This copter though. We have another market crash that does stop Lou getting in normal power here. Down goes the copter. Tanks are looking pretty good for Sturm on this side though. This recon probably could have come over and the artillery stayed here, didn't fall back. The recon did finish this guy off. Okay, this fight is definitely falling apart for Tinky, and if you're wondering why that happened, it's because all of the reinforcements for like vehicle wise have been going to this fight. So the only thing that shows up over here is just infantry, and that means that the longer the fight goes, the more in favor of Lou it's going to become, because there's actually vehicles. And the more Tinky will just kind of commit infantry to this, the more they're going to get killed off. You need to have a little bit more support for them. Okay. Looks like we're going to switch over to more tech up options. We have a Neo tank here. Another copy does fall. Unfortunate. Interrupt this capture. Smack. Drop that tank. I really like that Lou is not overextending to try and like send units over here, and then they get beat up by the reinforcing like medium tank and everything. You can see Lou's units staying in the realm of Lou's own properties. Artillery has now been spotted over here. These guys might be going a little far down, but they're also blocking for the anti-air, which is really good. We do have the market crash. Stop Sturm from getting that normal power. You take diving on in. There's not, in this case it's fine, but there's not any vision currently to support this guy. I think he's now starting to fall back over here. Great recon. Finishes off the infantry and spots where the reinforcements are, which then lets Lou commit to more attacks over here. And then also send the reinforcements down to match these ones. Looking really good. These tanks fall back. No way they can deal with this medium tank, at least until some indirects show up. This is looking really, really good for Lou. They're even in property count, but 10 units is a lot. Okay. Triple tank and a copter. Trying to catch up on that unit count. It's still also behind in unit value too. That's very painful. Lou looking really good, and kill off artillery. It's a Neo tank here, which is definitely not easy for Sturm to take out without using a power. Oh, a great breakthrough. Kill off anti-air. Hit the artillery. Take out the artillery. Take out the infantry. Medium tank stranded. An amazing attack by Lou. I think he's kind of got nothing left over here. There's no way for this guy to get out of this little box that's covered by the artillery. It's very good to attack on the other side when something like this happens on one front, because you kind of see how much Lou's invested here. In this case, Lou actually had stuff on both fronts because the fights have been going really well. But this looks super GG on this front. Copter's getting picked off by the anti-airs. Now all of these properties are completely undefended. Infantry. Look at how patient Lou is. It's like no reason to like dive forward with these infantry. You can threaten the property from way back here. So that's what Lou does. Triple anti-air buy. Maybe a little bit much. Especially because there's a Neo tank here. I know, rockets would be good. Anti-air does get taken out. Only one unit. Only loses one unit. 42 to 27. This what Tinky's doing is kind of what you have to do, by the way. It's just in terms of coming back into the game stat wise, Lou not losing anything that turn is absolutely amazing. But what Tinky's doing here is trying to get Lou to overextend into a group of units, which is pretty much the only thing you can do when you're really far behind. Well, these guys did move forward. Lou's attacking, but Lou's not diving really far. Just gonna go for the damage, start threatening these cities. There's no fighter, so this stealth is going to probably get some nice value. It's gonna have to make sure that it doesn't move into recon vision though. Ooh, the bomber is here to deal with this Neo tank. Oh, the stealth moved into recon vision. So that lost it a whole turn of free damage. Also, a bomber got built. Do not build a... In this case, you don't move your stealth into recon vision and then build a bomber, because both of these units lose to a fighter. Bomber hits Neo tank. Very nice. You have the meteor strike. That poor stealth. I don't think Tinky was able to stop that. Neo tank got trapped on the stealth despite knowing it's there. A little sketch. We have our fighter. Oh, you didn't check the replay. I guess luckily you ran into it then. A black boat built. That looks like a resignation. GG. Really good play from Lou. Really got to see that early recon aggression translating into just a late game or medium to late game property lead and kind of snowballing from there. The one thing for Tinky, I think Tinky's plan with the copter spam is good. I would have just gone with initially more tank spams instead of going for some like aggressive recon plays against Sturm, because Sturm's going to go really aggressive against you, so you gotta be prepared for that. And yeah, that is the end of our stream. I'm sorry it's so much shorter, as is the life of the working penguin. I hope everyone enjoyed. And here is an apple. Apple. Thank you for watching. And those were some good games. Keep submitting.
It's Go7, king of the penguins. Of all the penguins, he is king. It's Go7, king of the penguins. Being king of the penguins, that's